What's going on, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? I'm not gonna go through all my aliases as I say what I got to say, but I'm deeply disturbed by what I see in the media, what I see going on in the world, and I just want you to think about something. I teach kids for a living. You know, all my kids love me. You know, kids tell me the greatest thing is an 8 or 9-year-old telling you they want to be like you when they grow up. It's like, I'm just a regular dude, but it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you walk the hallways and kids want to shake your hand and give you a dap, give you a pound, because of the impact that you have, because you know that you're the father that some of them never have, or the uncle that some of them don't have, or the grandfather that some of them don't have. I'm not that old, but and I love what I do. It's not even work, but what disturbs me is that I see people who look like me persecuted constantly just because of how they look, not because of where they work, not because of what they do, but just because of how they look. And that's somebody's son, that's somebody's father, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's co-worker, church member. Personally, I've been in the back of 13 police cars. And each time I was in the back of a police car, I wasn't doing anything. Like 1 out of the 13 times I was in the back of a police car because I was driving too fast on a highway, not in a residential area or a school zone, but on a highway, when everybody was speeding. Now, don't get me wrong. 2 wrongs doesn't make a right. I shouldn't have been driving fast. I don't make any excuses for that. But it's no reason for me to be handcuffed with the circulation in my arms cut off to be sitting on the side of a road for 2 hours with 6 state troopers having me pulled over, my brother and my cousin sitting in the grass. We're on the way to a family reunion. With the family reunion itinerary in the rental car, the rental information, with the email, we showed the police officers the emails we got. You don't know what it feels like to have a police officer going through your underwear and your socks simply because you were driving a couple of miles over the speed limit. Let them hear the voicemails of my little brother who was waiting for us to get to the hotel because the hotel was registered under my name. And to know that I don't want my daughter to have to see a video of her dad being assaulted, not because I was non-compliant, not because I was doing something illegal, but just because of my skin tone. When we get cut, we all bleed the same color. Our body functions the same way. We work at the same jobs. We live in the same country. We want to talk about being Americans, but we don't treat all Americans the same way. But what if that was you, though? What if that was your mom? What if that was your dad? What if that was your brother? What if that was your sister? What if that was your cousin or your uncle or your aunt, your nephew or your niece? We don't look at the history of our country. We talk about true patriotism, and we went to war simply because we were taxed without representation. No taxation without representation. Oh, don't get it twisted. Please don't let the hood fool you. I major in history. That's what I do. So here it is. We were able to go to war, to fight, to kill, to shed blood simply because we were being taxed without having representation in British Parliament. But we say that it's unpatriotic when somebody says that people who look like me are being oppressed. We don't talk about how we ran the Native Americans basically into the ground as a country. Nobody tells somebody that's Jewish that experienced the Holocaust to get over it. Other people who have experienced different things. The Japanese that suffered during World War II, that had to be put in concentration camps because America saw them as a risk because of what had happened in Pearl Harbor. We don't tell them to get over it. We celebrate the 4th of July every year. We don't tell other Americans to get over it. We remember 9/11, and we don't tell people who experienced that to get over it. But another human being, just because they are a different skin complexion, a different skin tone, because we don't have the complexion for the protection. Well, you shouldn't have been speeding. You shouldn't have been a big black guy. You should have taken some of the bass out of your voice. And so it's a right for somebody's son, somebody's dad, somebody's coworker, somebody's church member to lose their life. When Dylan Roof shot that church up and killed those people in the church who invited him in, who he said was nice to him, who treated him with dignity and respect, he was escorted to a restaurant because he was hungry. He had a police escort and they gave him a bulletproof vest. Now, don't get me wrong. Please don't get me wrong. I believe that should happen to everybody. That's humane. That's the way you treat a human being. But a 12-year-old was killed simply because 2 minutes within the police pulling up. It was under 2 minutes. He was killed. A man whose truck broke down just recently on the interstate was shot and killed just because he was a big black guy. We've got to do better. We've got to do better. And then the way that this is going is unacceptable. And I'm not going to stand for it. But hatred doesn't solve anything. Hatred only begets more hate. You don't meet hate with hate. You meet hate with love. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not laying down. If you run up on me in my crib, if you run up on my daughter, I'm going to do what a father does. My first natural inclination is survival. If I'm put in a position where I have to survive, I'm going to survive. But don't get it twisted. I'm not going out looking to start nothing. I know some good law enforcement officials. I have some in my family. I have some people who are dear to me that put their lives on the line every day. But this is unacceptable. And it's time not just for people who look like me, but time for all people to stand up and say, well, because what if it's me? What if I'm next? What if somebody else, that your church member, your coworker, your neighbor, what if they're next? Just because of how they look. When is enough enough?